Hi everyone, welcome to A Beer with Brad episode 28. Tonight I got a lot to talk about here, but first let's start with the beer. For this month, I finally made it down to Lumen Beer Company down here on South 13th Street in Omaha and tried several of their beers over this long holiday weekend. I'm actually recording this on Monday night, Memorial Day, so figured I got a lot to do this week. If I don't get it done tonight, I'm not going to get it done. So swung in there over the long holiday weekend, tried several of their beers, and I brought home this Headlock from Lumen Beer Company. Headlock is an IPA made with 100% Nelson hops, so very nice, smooth, easy drinking IPA. If you like IPAs, this one's packed full of flavor, a really good flavor, easy one to drink. Really enjoyed everything I had there at Lumen over the weekend, and while it took me a year to get there for the first time, I'm not gonna wait another year before I get back down there. A lot of good things to have there. So, like I said, this is the first. Today's Memorial Day, and then coming up this next weekend is the first weekend in June, which means it's the time for the Countryside Village Art Fair. Countryside Village Art Fair is on Saturday and Sunday. 87th Pacific, and it's open from 10 to 5 10 to 6 on Saturday, 10 to 5 on Sunday. Got a lot going on this week to get ready for it. I'm a little bit stressed out because I kind of waited until the last minute to order a few pictures for the wall. In fact, 6 to be exact. 6 pretty good sized pictures. If they don't get here in time, I'll be kind of disappointed because I talked to the people making the prints, their metal prints. I figured it was time to get some really up-to-date metal prints, so I picked out 6 pictures. I don't think I've printed any of them before, or at least not printed on metal and brought to the art fair. So looking forward to seeing how all these turn out. But they were supposed to ship on Friday. Today's Monday, Memorial Day, so it's a holiday. They didn't ship today, so I have them down for a 2-day shipment. So if they go on Tuesday, I should have them by Thursday. But you never know with shipping. If sometimes prints or just packages in general disappear, so a little bit stressed. I do have enough stuff that I could really scrape things together to fill up the tent for the art fair, but I don't know, people kind of want to see new stuff from time to time, so it'd be really cool to have these prints for the art fair. So hopefully everything goes smooth and they show up and there's no weather. Of course, in the spring there shouldn't be as many weather delays, but you never know. The other thing going on with the art fair is I used PayPal for all my credit card processing, and I still do, but I got an email a few months ago saying that the system I used was being discontinued and I needed to switch to their new system. So got this new PayPal credit card reader in the mail a couple weeks ago. It pairs with my cell phone. Still learning a little bit about that. I think I have it down enough for the art fair. The only thing different is the other one, you would just type in an item, like say Omaha Skyline picture, and then type in the dollar amount and then slide the credit card. This one really kind of wants you to have it set up like a store where I would have everything set up beforehand in my phone, and then I would just go through, select the items, and then run their credit card. So be a little bit different. If once I get it all set up, it'll be cool because it'll probably actually be a lot faster and smoother while I'm at the art fair. But new technology has the tap technology, so you could use your Apple Pay or Samsung Pay or all those, and then also you can use Venmo to pay with it too. So has all the options, all the fun ways people like to pay these days. The good thing is the weather's looking good. Right now it's looking like upper 80s and sunny both days, small chance of rain. It'd be real strange if we did get some rain at this point because we're in such a drought right now. It hasn't rained in weeks. The entire month of May we didn't get any rain. So I was hoping that the first rain didn't show up on the first weekend of June during the art fair. But right now it's looking good. So again, Countryside Village Art Fair, 87th Pacific, all day Saturday and Sunday basically, 10 to 5 and 10 to 6 on Saturday, 10 to 5 on Sunday. Stop out. You don't have to buy anything. It's free to get in. You can walk around, check out my art, check out all the other artists. I'm in the exact same spot as I've been for the last, 5, 6, 7 years, I feel like. Right kind of on the south end of the art fair, a little bit towards the west side. I'm real close to West Side High School for those of you who are familiar with the area, so should be easy to find. Another thing that is coming up right after the art fair is the Big Boy Steam Locomotive is coming to town for the College World Series. I get emails and messages all the time from people that say, hey, tell me next time the Steam Locomotive's coming to town, because they want to go see it. So the Big Boy is leaving Cheyenne, Wyoming on June 7th, and then it will be in Omaha on June 11th, and it's going to take that entire time to get across the state of Nebraska. I think it's going to stop for one day in North Platte, but other than that, each day it's going to move part of the way across. Sunday, June 11th, we already have plans, so that day is out when it comes to Omaha, which is, it's good, it's bad. I've seen it come into Omaha a few different times, so it's going to force me to go out and do something a little bit different, which is cool. The day before, Saturday, it'll be coming across from Grand Island or Kearney, in towards Fremont, I believe. Go to upsteam.com and you can look up the exact schedule. And I'm actually was thinking to do something a little bit different, and on Wednesday it's going to be coming across the western part of the state of Nebraska through the Nebraska Panhandle, basically starting in Gering, which is up north by Scotts Bluff, and then come down towards North Platte, going through a bunch of track that I've never seen before. I've never photographed trains on before, so kind of thought, well, if I could find time to get away, that might be a cool option. Be different territory and maybe a little less crowded, being in the middle of the week and all the way out in the Panhandle. I have a strong feeling that Sunday, June 11th, when it comes to Omaha, since it's a Sunday, a weekend, there's just going to be people everywhere. It'd be hard to get around and see it without big mobs of people. So still on the fence about what exactly to do there. Kind of need to get through this art fair this weekend first, and then really decide what I'm going to do for the Big Boy. And then it's going to be in Omaha for the whole College World Series, and then it's going to go straight back out to Cheyenne after the College World Series. It's going to take several days again, so there'll be opportunities at the end of June heading back out to Cheyenne. That's a good one. Headlock from Lumen Beer Company. So up next on my list is the Natural Landscape Photography Contest. My year 2 book arrived. And I showed you last year, I think we went over and I showed you year 1. Had so many awesome pictures in there. And then here on year 2 is just as good. So the Natural Landscape Photography book or contest, it's a photography contest put on by photographers. It's run by some of the best well-known landscape photographers of this kind of time or generation. And the pictures are they're phenomenal. And if you look through all the names of all the photographers, I mean, pretty much any photographer that I find as kind of a role model, they're in there. All the guys that I follow on the social media and stuff all have pictures in here, and they're awesome. The cool thing about this is, there's tons and tons of photography contests. A lot of them are just local businesses trying to get free photos for their calendar or their website or whatever. But this is just a legit contest put on by photographers for photographers. So it's not a social media deal. They actually have judges that are professional photographers come in and judge all the photos, and it's just super cool. And as you look through the book, you'll just see the quality of these photos are just awesome. And then one particular photo is here on page 131 is a photo by my buddy Josh Warner. Josh is the guy, like, you've seen him in all the you've seen him in the Sandhill Crane videos that I've put out over the years, but you've also seen him like the Colorado series that's been coming out. Episode 6 came out last week, and there's one more episode 7, which will come out. Josh is my buddy that's in all those videos. It's his Jeep that I'm following a lot of times in the Colorado videos, and he got this awesome sand dune picture from the national park down in Colorado. So super cool photo, really like it, and it's cool to see him in there with all the other big name photographers. And no, I have not entered this contest, and mostly because I just put it off thinking, all right, I'll get some pictures in. And I never do. I'd like to. It'd be cool to see how mine stack up against some of the others, but maybe this year they should be opening up year 3. I would assume pretty soon for submissions. So there is some criteria of, like, it has to be the picture has to be taken within so many years, and they've started narrowing it down. So like the first year, it was a pretty broad range, and then year 2 was a little narrower and a little narrower. And then the other cool thing is, once they select your photo as one of the nominees or whatnot, they actually make you send them the raw file so that they can see exactly what the photo looked like and what kind of manipulation you did. So while these, they're processed and tweaks have been made, a little burning and dodging and whatnot, they can actually see that, make sure you didn't Photoshop in something completely different or a fake sky or whatnot. So super cool, a lot of cool, everything from big green landscapes to some straight down aerial drone photos of like river deltas and stuff, all kinds of cool stuff. So definitely, if you're into landscape photography, definitely check out that book. And like I said, I'm all over the map tonight, so I didn't have like a main subject. I just had all these little things to talk about, and kind of just busy doing things. I didn't put a lot of time into this month's episode, which it's all good. This is kind of my own. The Beer with Brad is my own channel or own show to do whatever I want with. So sometimes I'll just go deep into one subject, and things like today, I'll just have a beer and tell you what's going on in my life. So. The last thing I want to talk about is kind of a new, I don't know if you want to call it technique, but a new way of going through my photos. I've always kind of struggled, especially after a really big photography trip, getting the photos out. I take all these pictures, put them all on the computer, then I start looking through them, and I always came into like a roadblock, which is weird because, like if I go photograph a basketball game, take 300 pictures, 250, 300 pictures, and I'll just zip right through them. I'll pick out my best 15 or 20, and within an hour of the basketball game being over, those pictures are done off my computer and sent off to White and Blue Review. Hockey, not quite as fast, because usually I don't do those photos at the arena. I bring them home, work on them, and then I get them out sometime that night or first thing the next morning. But I go through those photos, I pick out my 15 or 20 best, and I'm done. I move on to the next thing. Sometimes I'll go back, especially if someone's looking for something in particular, or I may want to make another run through them, just see if I find anything different. I'll go through them one more time. But when it came to like the landscape photos, the wildlife photos, the cranes, I come home and the first thing I tried to do was like go through every single photo and get rid of the bad ones. And I would sit there and I would just be on the fence about, is this one bad, is this one okay? And I get so hung up on all the little details of the bad photos that I never even really focused. I never got to the good photos. So on the Colorado trip, what I did was I made one quick pass through them and picked out some of my favorites right off the top, put some of them on social media, used them all in the videos, and then I haven't even worried about the bad ones. And it was such a different way of thinking about it for me, and I don't know why I always did it the opposite way, but it was so nice just to start getting photos out right away. Almost done, like I said, with the Colorado from last fall, and some of the reason that I haven't put all those out as yet, just because I wanted to do the videos, kind of at the same time with them. But next I'm going to start on the Sandhill cranes, and that's my plan with those too, is just go through each day and quickly look through them and pick out some good ones and just get them done, get going through them, and then come back, maybe later on and make another pass and see if I missed anything. I just for some reason I was letting the negatives be like a roadblock, and I'm glad I finally changed that, because it's just been kind of refreshing to go through and actually spend time thinking about the cool scenes we saw, and getting to relive some of the best light we had out there by seeing the cool photos and not being bogged down by the other things. So just a little tip for those of you that maybe you do spend a lot of time trying to sort, or my photos are all sorted by date, so every day that I take a photo, the camera automatically makes a new folder on my drive, and so everything's sorted by date, and then I just go through each date and try to pick out the best. So those of you that are looking for a way to maybe have it, if you're having the same problems I were, feel free to just try to mix it up a little bit, do something different. Well, I thank you all for tuning in tonight. I know it's kind of all over the map with a little bit of everything: art fair, steam locomotives, landscape photography book, a photography tip. But like I said, sometimes it's just fun to get through a lot of little things and you know, fill up an episode. Hopefully, I didn't go too long tonight, but anyways, it's I would just always appreciate everyone tuning in, and I've never really got any feedback as far as things I'm doing, if I'm doing things great or doing things wrong. So I guess I'm assuming unless I hear something, everyone really just enjoys these episodes. So, well, I thank everyone for tuning in. Hopefully, we'll see some of you at the art fair. Make sure if you do stop by, you say hi, introduce yourself, and tell me you saw the Beer with Brad episode, and we can talk about pictures or whatever else you want to talk about. But thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time.